in the past, Goa's shaky political setup used to make a lot of news. Now, does that interest national media?
Well, it is interesting because, you know, nothing can change. I mean, it isn't, Goa's status is not going to change. But it does raise the question of whether a small state can actually have fractured itself in political terms, or let's say in polity terms, to a point where the whole, you know, concept becomes a little self-defeating.
Now, when we talk of states that deliver, we think of Bihar, Gujarat, Chhattisgarh, Madhya Pradesh. Now, could you give us a comparative read of the leaders of these states and give us an insight into what makes them deliver good governance to their citizens?
It's very interesting now. I mean, I'm half a Bihari. My father is from Bihar and so on, although we were born, grew up in Calcutta and so on. Bengali really is as much our language. Yes. My mother is a Kashmiri, so I have sort of origins in all sorts of places. And just in case you want to get excited, my wife is from Kerala. Okay. So our children have no option except to be fully Indian.
Absolutely.
But it's very interesting that when 10 years ago, 7 years ago, 10 years ago, you would never have thought of Bihar in terms of good governance. Now that state is rising to the top of your, memory recall.
Absolutely.
Why? It's the same state, same administration, same people. The functions of the state, after all, it isn't as if the new government that came in under Nitish Kumar and Sushil Modi, it's a great coalition out there. It isn't as if they suddenly reinvented the bureaucracy or sacked 10,000 people in the bureaucracy and imported 10,000 people.
They worked with the same people.
They worked with the same people. So this is where the difference in a government's commitment to its people can make all the difference. When you think today of Goa in terms of bad governance, it was not always so.
No.
And this is where the challenge as well as the opportunity of democracy lies. Democracy is a constant means test. It's a constant opportunity to the voter to actually rule on examinations. That have you failed or have you passed? When governments pass, they get glowing distinction marks. Equally, when they fail, they have to be punished by being sent to the bottom of the class or being demoted.
But that's not always the case. Even in failed governments, they are re-elected.
Well, it happens, yes. I will not deny it happens, particularly because very often crooks have perfected the art of emotional politics, which they exploit in order to, they create the politics of fear. They create the politics of identity emotionalism in order to subvert really the politics of good governance. But increasingly, the message that is emerging out of the last 10 years, 15 years, is that those governments who deliver on governance issue get re-elected. We take classic case of Chhattisgarh.
Yes.
Raman Singh.
Yes.
Now, Raman Singh was not even known when he became Chief Minister. I wonder if you take a national poll, how many people would know of him at all, even today. But look at the consistent record with which he is being re-elected. Why? Because he knows that at the heart of his governance lies concern, and in practical ways, not in terms of just rhetoric, not in terms of giving a big bhashan and going home to steal more money.
Okay.
Right? But in terms of actually delivering on food, on shelter. Today, the biggest success story is with those governments who are delivering on women-oriented schemes.
Okay.
And women-oriented schemes means looking at practical problems of women. If a government had to trust between the men and women, it would be great sense for governments to trust women. Women essentially, as mothers, are far, far more responsible.
You are speaking in terms of scheme-related
governance-related policies. Because if I had to, for example, allot resources
Yes.
in order to protect, save, nurture the base unit of our electorate, which is the base unit is the family.
The family.
Who would I trust? The man who would happily go out and make some liquor manufacturer happier? Or would a woman, a mother, actually is quite ready to give part of her meal to her children before she eats it herself? Whereas that governance is really indifference. I'm not saying that governments don't do anything, but indifference to the base unit of the electorate, and maximum attention span on how they can exploit their phase in power to increase the size of their personal bank balances, which I tell you is not such a big crime. It is the size of their non-bank balances.
Yes.
Right? The black money that they accumulate. It's just stupendous, stupendous. They have no idea of the levels of corruption that have become a cancer. And a cancer which is eroding our nation's ability to grow at the level it should.